Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be refactoring our personal website, and before we start I just want to give you an idea how the end result or what we're supposed to be doing in this video is going to look like in terms of the actual improvements. So I'll probably just open the developer tools here. So currently both the nav bar and the footer are being fetched dynamically. So say I go to the projects. Well, first of all, the projects.json has been separated, so it's now being loaded from the server and API placeholder. And also the footer and the header. So let's just search for a header. The HTML for the header as well as the HTML for the footer are now being fetched dynamically, and this happens within the header.js file right over in here using the AJAX request. Okay, so another important thing which I didn't pay enough attention to, and this has resulted in the fact that the website was not working properly, and I didn't even notice that. So here is the point. If we just do inspect the navigation links, so the proper way of doing things is not to say index.html, but personal website index.html. Well, this is GitHub static pages specific thing, because on GitHub, so this is the version that is now live on GitHub. So you have the HTTP server running at your username github.io, and then it goes like the repository name and then the path to wherever we are going. So earlier I was missing this personal website, and hence the navbar couldn't be loaded properly. So how to make sure that we do resolve these things properly, that we do resolve the relative paths properly. Here I have the HTTP server running on localhost, and I just tried to mimic exactly the project structure. So if we have a look at where the HTTP server is running, it just runs at the desktop. So just stop this here. So at the desktop, I have the personal website. This is the working directory. So just do Python 3 HTTP server, and this is it. So I can debug everything. So I can provide the relative path. So that the version that runs locally on my local host will behave exactly the same as it would when I deploy it on GitHub. Well, again, this is all related to static pages, but anyway, just wanted to give an idea. So apart from anything else, we would be using the HTTP server to make sure that we do resolve paths properly. But again, the way how we're supposed to be doing things for the tutorial purpose, of the purposes of the tutorial, I would be running the HTTP server in the root of the projects. So like this would be like localhost and then just index or localhost HTML projects drop in the this spot. But I just wanted to mention why this project name is important, and in which case, in particular, in case of we want to host this on GitHub. But again, just for the didactic purposes, we're going to drop this. So hopefully this makes sense. Now I would give you an idea how things currently look from the previous tutorial. So just I want to create a new tab here, new tab, and I'm going to personal website tutorials and the part 4. I have just 2 files, like this is from the previous tutorial, and here I want to do Python 3 and module HTTP server. Okay, so now on this tab, just clear everything and go again to personal website tutorials part 4. Okay, and now if we go to localhost, just want to make sure that everything is not being cached, so disabling cache on the network. So go into projects, home projects. Well, this should be it. Okay, great. So we will start by creating directories for HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and JSON. So I can do mk the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and JSON. And I want to move the projects HTML to HTML projects.html. And I think that from now on, this should be broken. And yeah, this is a good sign. Great. So here, this would be available under the HTML/project. Okay. And it's not going to work here as well because yeah, the links under the navigation bar are absolutely messed at the moment, but we don't care much about this for now. So let's keep going with our refactoring. So I will probably now go to the projects since that's where we're supposed to be altering things, and I open the HTML projects HTML, and here the entire JavaScript code part here. I want to grab this and want to write this to JS and call it projects.js, and I just delete this from here like this. And I just want to say source equals to JS and projects.js, right? So write quit, and now I want to open the projects.js. So I just want to get rid of the indentation like this. Right, quit, and now we should already have the just quickly inspect the page source. Okay, yeah, now we have the project.js. Okay, being separated. Next thing to do is to get rid of this huge variable and put this into the JSON folder, a sort of an API placeholder. So to do this, I go to projects.js. I don't need this. I don't need this. And up to in here, and I just do write to JSON and projects.json. Yeah. And here I can get rid of this. Delete. And here on page load. So let's have a look at JSON projects JSON just to make sure. Yeah, so don't want this, don't want this. Okay, yeah. So again, I just update things. Now it should do the projects.js. Yeah, but with someone, it doesn't fetch anything because we didn't yet provide the logic for doing this. So here in the project.js, I want to fetch projects, and I can do jQuery and AJAX request here. So the URL would be JSON projects.json method get, and now entire thing from here. I just want to put whatever codes we have in here to here. Want to change projects, because we are reference projects as a variable with the data. And to do so, I just insert everything and I do substitute projects with data. And the only place I need to move it back is here because we are referencing the projects, which is the HTML element. And now, if I do everything properly, they should actually fetch this projects dynamically. So let's have a look. Projects.js, okay, and this AJAX request initiates request to get these projects. So projects being fetched, which is cool. Yeah, great. So now we have exactly what we've been looking for. Now we can apply the same idea of fetching these projects from the JSON file towards the navbar and the footer. So let me give you an idea what's sort of run in here. So if we again have a look at the source code, then we have the header and the footer being duplicated in every single HTML page. This is so in projects, in home, just manually adjust the path here. So same here. Just inspect the source code. Again, we have the navbar and we have the footer. So say we want to change something and say we have like up to 10 pages, then we need to change the links and whatever in all of the 10 files. That's not the way to go, definitely. So what we want to do, we want to dynamically load the navbar and the footer in every single page, and we can do this via JavaScript. So let's now separate the codes for the header and footer the following way. So if I do vim and index, and here simply, I just want to get rid of navbar. From here, I just say write to HTML, and I call it header.html. Okay, now I can get rid of this. And also the footer. Just move these lines to write to HTML and footer HTML, and like this. Now if we have a look again at the HTML folder, we have the header and the footer there. So let's open the HTML header. We can probably get rid of this indentation. We don't quite need this. Delete. And also the footer. So get rid of indentation here as well. And also want to open the projects. Okay. In projects, exactly the same thing. So we no longer need the navbar here, and just get rid of this. And also the footer. So now we will replace this with a single line the following way. So we can do, so probably before the projects, I can just yank paste, and the file would be called header.js, right, quit, and again in the index, we also want to have the script and source equals to JS header.js. Okay, and closing the script tag. Right, quit. So if I now update, it will give me an error because the header.js is not available yet. So let's create one. And under the JS, I want to create the file called header.js. Right, number list. Yeah, it's being fetched. Great. So here we want to say jQuery ready. So when the document has been loaded, we want to fetch header and have to fetch the footer. Fetch footer, and we will create a function to fetch element. So yeah, also here we may add the commentary on page load. So let's create a function called probably let's call it render element. And yeah, it's not fetch, it's better to say render element. Okay, and essentially, yeah, not fetch, but render. So this would take the URL and the name. So first, we want to fetch element. And for this sake, I can do jQuery AJAX again. And here, so the URL would be whatever user has specified. Method is get. And on success, we want, yeah, let's start with just logging the data. And let's do render element, and the URL would be html header.html, and the name is header. Okay, right. Now let me do, okay, jQuery is not defined. Yeah, that's because right quit. I need to import the jQuery. So I do them, and this is happening. Yeah, within the index. I probably have the. Okay, I have the jQuery. No, this is not jQuery. It's not jQuery. So jQuery cd cdn. Okay. Try again. Yeah, now we have the code for the navbar being fetched. So only thing left here is to actually render navbar, or essentially append navbar to header. So I can do jQuery, and I'm searching for the header or the footer, so name as an argument, and then simply append, and I want to append data. Whatever data is there. Essentially, data is like HTML. Yeah, we can explicitly say HTML to make it a little bit more clear, and HTML. And yeah, I actually want to do this in here. Okay, and if I did everything properly, right, quit, just right, it should actually render the navbar, and it does. Great. Okay, links are still not working, but that's okay. So let's say render header and footer, and just do the footer here and footer here. So right, update. Yeah, we got the header and we got the footer as well. Fantastic. Okay, same for projects. We cannot navigate to projects yet, but if we do manually specify this, we still have exactly the same navbar and the footer here as well, which is good. So now we can fix the links, fix the navigation links within the single HTML file. So quit from here and do HTML and header HTML, and this would get fixed in both, like in index and the project. So index is going from the root, and here we have the HTML and projects, right? And we update, so we go to index, we go to projects, and everything works now. And let's say I want to copy like another link here, so make another link, let's say about, although the URL is still the same, but anyway, just want to give you an idea. So we have about in both. In home we have about, in projects we have about, and in about we also have about, because, well, essentially that's also projects. So yeah, now we can alter the navbar in a single place, and this gives us the updates in every single page. So this is way more efficient as opposed to manually altering navbar code in every single HTML page in a website. And again, if you want to get rid of this, right, then again the same. Cool. So next thing I want to do, I want so say I am at home. I want home be like highlighted, so to give user an idea that we are at the home tab, as well as projects. So if I go to projects, so I want projects to be highlighted. So how can we resolve this? That can be done the following way. So I'm going to JS, and here's a JS, and here I want to extract current page name, and I say let current page equals to window dot location dot href, and yeah, let me just quickly do console log and current page. Okay, so index HTML. So we want to split this by the dot HTML. Want to have the first element. Okay, and I want to split by slash. Want to split by slash. And now want to say current page equals to current page. This is a list now, indexed by the current page length -1. And now we have index. Great. Now I want to do this to uppercase, and we have index. And for index in particular, want to change it to home, so I can do replace and index with home. Okay, so we got home here and we got projects here. Great. But yeah, we actually want it to be printed only once. So I can do the following. So if render in header, I can do if name equals to header. In this case, we do this. Okay, and now this should be printed only once, and it is great. Next thing to do, we need to loop over the elements within these navigation links. So just to quickly inspect those, we have the user list with the class nav and nav items there. So next thing we want to do is to loop over navigation links. So we can do the following way. So we can do jQuery and navbar nav and children, and let's just do each, and here we need to provide the callback function. So function takes index and the element as parameters. Okay, so let's do console log element. So we have the child elements. Well, this style would be placed into a separate CSS. We'll do this a little bit later, but for now, just to make sure that we only deal with nav items, here I can do dot nav item, right? And we only deal with nav items where we can extract the text. And now if it happens that the element text equals to the current page, we want to append a class to the navigation links so that it would be like highlighted. So want to highlight active tab, and I do if, and I'm taking the element enclosed within the jQuery selector. So if element text turns to be equal to the current page, in this case, we want to take the element and want to say children again, and want to take the very first and the only child, which is the navigation link itself, and just say a class, and this would be called btn nav active. We don't yet have these class, but we'll now provide one. Right, quit. Now I go to HTML, header HTML, and here I just copy the class from hover and call it active. Right, quit. And if I now did everything properly, they should highlight things, but it doesn't. Children add class is not a function. Oh, well, that's because, hold on a sec. Header.js, because I need to enclose this into the extra jQuery, like this, into the extra selector. Okay, yeah, great. Now we have home being highlighted because we are in the index, and go into projects. Cool, we got projects highlighted. So one last thing to do, we are essentially done for this tutorial, is to move the CSS classes from header HTML to a separate file. That's what we want to do. And we also want to provide the link. So in here, I just say that I want to source the CSS styles from CSS style CSS, and now this to be stored to the CSS and styles.css. And now we can get rid of these classes here. And yes, right, quit. Let's see what we have under the CSS and styles. Let's get rid of unneeded indentations. Right, quit. And again, so this should look fairly the same. Okay, but now if we have a look at the elements, it's already, the cells are about to be sourced from the corresponding CSS file. So yeah, also need to get rid of this nasty print statement, console log thing. So this one, and yeah, and we are done. And again, just to give you an idea one last time, so if we have a look how this thing looks for real on my actual personal website, then yes, we have exactly the same functionality here. And yeah, now we can add as many pages as we want, and both header and footer would be dynamically rendered via JavaScript along the way. So guys, that's it from my side. Hope you've learned something interesting within this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.